Hi friends, this is Caitlin. I'm so excited to be here with you to talk to you about my experience at Simon Says Stamp Create. It has been 1 week since I went to Columbus, Ohio and attended Create, which was an amazing crafting event that had classes and all of these vendors with, they call it Create It and Take It's. You might know them more as Make and Takes. And I went on behalf of Pink and Main, which was an absolute dream come true. So I just wanted to share some of my experience with you. I did my best to vlog as I went, but when I got home and looked at my footage, I quickly realized that I am obviously not a professional vlogger, and I am much more comfortable being behind the camera than in front of it. So most of what you're gonna see is not me talking to the camera. So I'm gonna add in some voiceover here and there to explain what's happening in some of these clips. I also have a fun story that I'm gonna tell you a little later on about my very interesting Friday night, including Northern Lights and some absolutely amazing crafters that I got to meet for less than normal, typical reasons. So stick around for that story, but we're gonna go ahead and jump in to my trip and sneak preview. I had so much fun. So let's go ahead and jump in. In my opinion, all good adventures start with Starbucks or some kind of iced coffee. So at the lovely hour of 5:15 in the morning, I started my journey. This was me going through the Philadelphia airport, and I did get there early. The security was super fast on this morning, which was great. I had some time to film a couple TikToks. I was that cringy girl. And then I sat and edited them and let the world go around me. This was flying out of Philly. That's the center city of Philadelphia right there. And on the plane, I, surprise, surprise, worked on editing a video down, trying to stay productive. This was the convention center. So you can see the convention center is there on the left, the hotel is there to the right, and it was such a beautiful campus to be on. It's a little small, I think, for how big this event could be, but I understand why they keep going back. It was absolutely beautiful. When we got in on Thursday, Vally and I set up all of our example cards and then set up our station. This was so fun, but a lot of work. It was nice getting to chit chat with everybody else around us though. And then before it started, we had a couple extra minutes. So I went around and kind of just got an overview of what some other brands, tables, and their racks of product look like, and especially the sample cards. So every brand that had a table and was doing the Create It and Take It's had a rack or multiple racks that had those inspiration cards as well as all of their product. And so as a shopping experience, if you were an attendee, you could go grab any of the products from that brand that Simon had brought over, but you could, in theory, specifically grab the ones that you used in the Create It and Take It, and then you would pay for them at the door before you left the whole room. So there were 2 main big rooms, and you can see Simon had some of their own stuff, and then each, of course, I had to take very extensive footage of the Halloween rack, right? This whole rack was just Halloween products. It took everything in me to not buy. I didn't buy a single craft supply. I don't know how I managed that. But yeah, it was really fun. I had to go love on the lawn fawn section. And then it was just fun kind of seeing all of the inspiration cards, because I watch a lot of other card makers on YouTube, but it's fun to see other people's takes on those products, especially if they're brands that I've never used. I've never used Alex Siberia, but those inspiration cards were amazing. And I just loved seeing all of the different inspiration. You can kind of get a feel for the vibe of each company that way. So once we ran around to see what was going on, we did have to get back to our stations to get ready for when they opened the doors for everybody on Thursday night. There's Vally. I love her so much. Yeah, we were just so excited to get to work. We're officially on morning 1. So excited. We have our cool little setups ready to go. I'll check in with you guys once people start coming in. You're gonna open that all the way around, and then you're gonna, I see your 3 sides. You're gonna need one open for your sequins. All right, so here is where we get to the end of official day 1. Thursday night, we had the first kind of VIP make and take for some of the people in the classes so that they would have time to get more of their create it and take it's done. And then Friday was the whole way through the day, 8 in the morning until 6 at night, doing create it and take it's at our table. Super crazy, so exhausted at the end of that day. The number 1 tip I will give you if you're going to be a vendor representing a brand, don't wear jeans, okay? Get aprons, have a logo on them, a brand name on them, and wear the most comfortable pants that you own. Leggings all the way, sweatpants even, because no one's gonna see you generally from the waist down anyway while you're at your table. And I wore jeans that first day and I was in absolute agony. It hurt, my stomach hurt so bad from the waistband of those jeans. So skip the jeans, put on a cute shirt, ask for an apron, and you'll be good to go. So the funny story that I have to share is that Friday night, there was a solar flare Friday during the day. And I guess the northern lights were visible in North America all the way down, they said, to like Alabama. I was hanging out with Samantha, one of the girls that I am on a couple design teams with, Sweet November Stamps and Pink and Maine. So we've only ever talked online. So we were chit-chatting and catching up in person in the lobby. And all of a sudden, this whole group of people comes running downstairs and they're like, Northern Lights, the Northern Lights. And so we joined in and we ran outside and I got some really cool pictures that I will insert here with the sky all lit up. And I will tell you that it was very strange because if you looked at the sky, it had like maybe the slightest tinge of purple, but it looked pretty close to any normal night. But when you held up your phone and you didn't even have to take a picture, just looking through the screen, the sky looked completely different. So we're out there taking pictures. It's chilly. Everybody's like, cool, I got my pictures. We all go back inside and everyone else disperses except for me and Samantha. So we're still sitting there talking about, everything we'd been talking about before our little excursion. And all of a sudden, another group of people comes running down the stairs and it's Jennifer McGuire, Gina Kay, Sherry Carroll, Christina Werner, Sika, a couple other people, Michelle, one of the girls that comes to hang out with me all the time on Pink and Maine Live. So it was like this giant group of people. And I'm like trying not to be starstruck, right? I'm trying not to fangirl on these beautiful, lovely women who are just women trying to enjoy their night. So they all come running down the stairs and they're like, we heard you could see the Northern Lights. And we're like, oh yeah. And they're like, where? And so me and Sam look at each other and we're like, oh, we'll show you, no problem. I have a clip that I will also insert here, all standing in a grassy field in our pajamas, holding our phones up to the sky, trying to take pictures of the Northern Lights, which were not as impressive when we went with them as they were the first trip. But that is a fun story that I will now have for the rest of my life, that the first time that I met those lovely ladies, we were in our PJs in the middle of the night, searching in the sky for something. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump back in. So then Saturday morning, we got up bright and early and made our way from the hotel all the way in the super far walk over to the convention center. But in all seriousness, it was so nice to have everything so close together. We refreshed our stations and got them ready for our watercolor project, which was for Saturday. And you can see here some examples. Some people were very controlled in their watercolor and some people went all out. I loved both styles, to be honest. I am not great at a super messy watercolor. So I really enjoyed seeing everybody's different styles. And this is what the whole room kind of looked like. Just trying to get you a sense of what it felt like to kind of be in the middle of all of this chaos. In the other room, I kind of just went around and got some clips of all those stations set up along the wall. It was just interesting to kind of see how different the two rooms were, or if you had the wall versus being in the center the way we were. Just different. And my favorite thing, which just sounds so silly, was these little cookies are going to come up that said Simon Says Create. How cute are these? And they used a local Columbus baker to make them. I love that. So then it was time to head home. But before I get into that, I'll give you a wrap up right here. Overall, I want to tell you that my trip was an absolute blast. It was so much hard work and just such long days, but I have no regrets except for no jeans. But yeah, it was so good. I feel so lucky that I got to meet Vally and hang out with her, and that she was my Pink and Main partner for this, because she just made everything so easy and we just clicked so well that it made everything else much more fun. I would say if you have the opportunity in the future to go, from everything that I saw and all of the different create it and take it's that were available, there really is something for everybody. And just having the chance to meet all of these people, the one thing that is now still officially on my bucket list that I didn't get to do was say hi or meet Tim Holtz. He was there with Mario. I saw him, but every time that I saw him at his table, I was busy. And every time I was free and got to like go walk towards there, he wasn't there. So it just wasn't meant to be, but hopefully in the future I will get to meet him. And there were just so many people that it was lovely to finally meet in person. I will also say that Tiffany from the Ink Blot Spot is absolutely amazing. She was at the table next to us and we ended up hanging out on Saturday night. She's just the sweetest person. It felt like the two of us were the only ones who really weren't drinking at the like pub that's there with everybody else, but it was still so nice to just sit and talk crafty stuff and just kind of have a chill, fun night, even if there was craziness going on around us. I feel so grateful to have met so many amazing people and to have had this experience. So thank you to Pink and Main and Michelle for allowing me to go and represent your brand. And hopefully there will be more events in the future. If you guys have any follow-up questions, anything else you want to know, you can always leave them in the comments and I'll keep an eye out and answer anything that I can. But I will be back next week with another card. And until then, happy crafting, guys.